There seems to be a lot of information online circulating lately about the Baltimore bridge collapse, including the fact that many believe that the popular television series The Simpsons actually predicted this bridge collapse many years prior. Is it at all possible that a television series, a cartoon that's been on for decades, actually can predict the future? Like myself? Well, many people do believe that. And many people believe the first of them predictions is the most recent, the bridge collapse that happened in Baltimore, Maryland, which I actually predicted back in December of 2023. Check it out.
A vision of a bridge collapsing. And in this vision, I'm not clear how it happens exactly, but it happens. I saw in the vision vehicles plunging off the bridge into cold, icy waters. So that makes me believe that I may be either in the United States, especially the northern part of the United States.
One of America's longest running television series, The Simpsons, has constantly blown the minds of people with their accurate predictions over time. Their weird ability to accurately predict the future, like myself, which has surprisingly come true year after year, has now evoked awe and wonder in the hearts and minds of everyone. However, the show has also struck up a lot of curiosity in folks, making people ask the question, do the Simpsons producers have their own psychics like myself working on the set? Or maybe some other magical device and crystal ball that helps them to peer into the future? In 1995, the show allegedly predicted the collapse of the Baltimore Bridge. And it did happen just recently, unfortunately, leaving many people worried now about other Simpsons future predictions. But what did they predict this time, and how does it affect the world? Join me today because I'm going to unravel all the mysteries of The Simpsons. Well, not all of them, but many of the mysteries of The Simpsons and their potential predictions for 2024 and 2025. Check it out. The Simpsons is currently the longest running animated show in the United States, with 760 episodes released over the course of 34 years. But that's not the only reason the show is famous. Throughout history, The Simpsons have established themselves as an accurate predictor of the future. Bridge collapse. One of the most intriguing predictions is the collapse of the Baltimore Bridge. In the early morning hours of March 26, 2024, a cargo ship lost all power, including its engines, and crashed into Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing it to collapse. This has caused an unusual frenzy on the internet, as many speculate that The Simpsons already predicted the bridge collapse. But is it true? So in 1995, an episode of The Simpsons titled Bart on the Road featured a scene where the bridge in Springfield labeled Baltimore collapsed due to a truck carrying a heavy load across it. The scene depicted chaos and destruction as the bridge gave way, causing traffic mayhem and leading to the emergency response. Some have interpreted this fictional portrayal of a bridge collapse in Baltimore as a prediction, especially when real-life events seem to mirror the depicted scenario. The episode aired on March 31st, 1996, and the real-life bridge collapse in Baltimore occurred on December 4th, 2015. The collapse of Interstate 695 bridge over the Patapsco River in Baltimore City resulted in 2 people being unalived in significant traffic disruptions. Consequently, The Simpsons had gained a reputation for seemingly predicting future events. These instances have led to the speculation and debate about whether the show's creators possess a form of divination or their own personal psychics. In most cases, the apparent predictions can be attributed to the show's long history, extensive cultural references, and a satirical take on contemporary issues, allowing it to inadvertently tap into the themes and events that later become relevant. The bridge collapse prediction is just one example of many instances where The Simpsons have been linked to real-world events. Other notable examples include the prediction of the Trump presidency, the Ebola breakout, the discovery of the Higgs boson particle, and the Disney-Fox merger. However, it's crucial to note that these connections are often retrospective interpretations rather than intentional forecasts by the show creators. Is that true? I want to know what you think in the comments down below. Just in the early hours of 2024, The Simpsons recorded another win following the release of Apple's new groundbreaking product, the Apple Vision Pro 8. The company has been taunting this new product for quite a while, and finally on February 2nd, 2024, the Vision Pro was released to the public. It has now since become the rave of the movement. This new virtual reality headset allows viewers to enjoy a range of hyper-realistic VR experiences, from an Alicia Keys concert to a rhino charging at them. But is this really the first time the world is being introduced to this product? Maybe not. You see, back in 2016, The Simpsons released an episode titled Friends and Family. In the prophetic scene that unfolded, Mr. Burns hired Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie to play his live virtual family as a trial run for a new headset that bears an uncanny resemblance to the Vision Pro. As soon as the product became available to the public, Springfield erupted in chaos. It didn't take long for everyone to get addicted to the new craze, and soon people were falling down manholes and walking into lampposts while being distracted by these futuristic headsets. How could The Simpsons predict the invention of such a product 6 years before it was ever announced? Was it black magic or just a little bit of luck? As soon as the news of the Vision Pro release broke on the internet, one ex-user was quick to point out how The Simpsons had made that prediction a couple years earlier. But when the show has been running for 30 years, they are bound to get 2 predictions right along the line. So this may end up being just a big fat coincidence. But even though it would make sense to dismiss a scenario as a mere coincidence, The Simpsons have done this so many times that it's quite hard to dispute them at this point. But The Simpsons predictions aren't limited to just tech gadgets or inventions. Sometimes they even make political predictions as well. Trump 2024. On November 8th, 2022, former U.S. President Donald Trump revealed his intentions to run for the presidency one more time in 2024. It was a really anticipated announcement, which had been preceded by months of speculation. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am here tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States. These were the words in which the billionaire businessman made his plans known to the world. And considering Trump's reputation as a controversial figure in American politics, the news instantly went viral. But while everybody was focused on the pros and cons of a Trump presidency, the creators of The Simpsons were quick to point out that the show had predicted this move back in 2015. This is where everything gets interesting. In this particular episode titled Bart to the Future, we see Homer Simpson as he appears to fall from the sky. A campaign poster could be seen in the background with the words Trump 2024 etched into it.
It's a gravity-defying comb-over.
How did the writers and producers know that Trump would be running for president? Is this just another lucky coincidence, or do the show creators have their own team of psychics to help them predict the future? That remains to be unseen. The craziest part of this whole story, though, is the fact that this episode was released before Trump was ever even president. This adds another layer of mystery to an already confusing situation. But it still goes even deeper. This was not the first time that The Simpsons would predict something about a former president. In an even earlier episode from 2000, the show predicted that Donald Trump would one day find his way to the highest seat in the world's most powerful nation. It looked like an outlandish claim. But in January 2017, the controversial businessman was sworn in as the President of the United States. Coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences, do you? Before we go on with the rest of the video, as we unwrap the scariest Simpsons predictions made for 2024 and 2025, our attention is drawn to Israel-Palestine war and the strange predictions the Simpsons made about the war. Are we about to witness a shift in the political and military climate of these two nations, or are things about to get even more dramatic? The outcome remains uncertain. But digging even deeper into the mysteries surrounding the Simpsons predictions, we uncover theories from skeptics and non-believers who are not swayed by these prophecies. Even though some have come to pass over the years, many people believe that these are just lucky coincidences. If the Simpsons aren't really predicting the future, why do they get everything right over and over again? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below and join our conversation as we move on to the next video clip. The baby translator. Would you like to know exactly what your little infant or toddler needs whenever they go on a crying spree? If yes, this next invention is for you. But why did the Simpsons seem to know about this invention before we did? It's mysterious, right? But what exactly is a baby translator? It's precisely what the name says. A device that can finally solve the age-long mystery of what babies want. In episode 24 of the third season of the series, titled Brother, Can You Spare 2 Dimes?, Herb pal Homer's half-brother invents a magical device that could translate baby talk into actual speech. So in this episode titled Babble Baby, the Simpsons introduce a groundbreaking invention, the baby translator, developed by Springfield's own Professor Frank. The baby translator promises to revolutionize parenting by decoding the mystery language of infants and toddlers. The story unfolds as Marge Simpson, exhausted by years of deciphering baby babble, eagerly signs up to test the prototype of the baby translator. With the device strapped to Maggie's crib, Marge eagerly awaits its first translation, hoping to finally understand her youngest child's needs and desires. To everyone's amazement, the baby translator successfully interprets Maggie's cries, revealing her innermost thoughts and feelings. From hunger to tiredness to boredom and curiosity, the device provides real-time translation of Maggie's every utterance, much to the delight of the Simpsons family. However, as word of the baby translator spreads, it ignites a frenzy of demand amongst parents eager to decode their children's communication. Soon, Springfield is overrun by baby translators, with parents relying on the devices to anticipate their child's needs and desires. Pretty fascinating. But could such a device be replicated in the real world? Or is it just a fantastic idea that'll never be materialized? Recently, Sound Dream has finally built a machine that will blow your mind. The Swiss software company claims to have developed a fascinating piece of technology to harness the power of artificial intelligence to determine what exactly babies want when they cry. You can accurately determine what your baby wants in the near future, maybe even by 2024. The Apple Vision Pro trumps presidential ambition. They all seem like pretty fascinating predictions, but this next one's really interesting. Colonizing Mars. This one is actually very freakish and will have you wondering if the scripts for the series were written by aliens or psychics. The resemblance to real-life events is absolutely uncanny. Let me take you to episode number 6, season 27. In this episode, Lisa learns that the government is looking for volunteers willing to sign up for an immigration to Mars. Enthusiastically, she volunteered, and so did the rest of the family. The rest of the episode had them going on wacky, crazy adventures. But at the end of the day, their vehicle refused to start and they went nowhere. But that's not the end. In this speculative episode titled Martian Machinations, the Simpsons take a comedic but thought-provoking look at humanity's future exploration of Mars and the potential consequences of colonization efforts. The episode begins with Elon Musk, the real-life CEO of SpaceX and the fervent advocate of Mars exploration, announcing plans to establish the first human settlement on the Red Planet. However, excited by the prospect of interplanetary adventure, Springfield's eccentric billionaire, Mr. Burns, funds his Mars mission to exploit the planet's resources for profit. He enlists the help of Professor Fink to design a spacecraft capable of transporting him and his loyal assistant Smithers to Mars. As the first human missions to Mars get underway, Bart and Milhouse, always up for mischief, stow away aboard the first spacecraft bound to the Red Planet. Upon arrival, they discover a Mars inhabited by intelligent but mischievous alien creatures known as Marsitians. So back on Earth, Mr. Barnes wastes no time exploiting Mars' resources, setting up mining operations and factories to extract valuable minerals. However, his ruthless pursuit of profit leads to an ecological devastation and conflict with the native Martian population. Lisa, Bart, and Milhouse join forces with the Martian resistance, led by a wise elder named Zork, to thwart Mr. Burns' plans and protect their planet from destruction. Together, they embark on a daring mission to sabotage the mining operations and expose Mr. Burns' greed to the people of Earth. In the end, Mr. Burns is thwarted, and humanity learns an important lesson about the importance of responsible exploration and coexistence with other worlds. The episode concludes with Bart and Milhouse bidding farewell to their newfound Martian friends, returning to Earth with a newfound appreciation for the interconnectedness of life in the universe. This eerie episode ends with a glimpse into 2051, where Marge and Lisa are now living on Mars. Suppose this sounds different from what you've heard in recent times. In that case, I wonder where you've been, because everybody knows about Elon Musk's plans to colonize the Red Planet. He has been going on and on about it for years and even established his own private space exploration company for that sole purpose. So why does this date, scheduled for the Mars launch in the Simpsons episode, resemble Elon Musk's plans? Is there something that the writers and producers are hiding from us? For now, we'll all have to agree that maybe it's coincidence, but I don't personally believe in coincidences. How about you? Before I move on any further, if you like today's content and you want to vibe with the tribe with accurate predictions, prophecy, truth, and great content like this, please do smash that subscribe button. Thank you for showing your love. It takes an awful lot of time, energy, and effort to do this content. And I appreciate you showing your love by hitting that thumbs up love button. Let us move on. Virtual reality food. If you thought the prediction on the Vision Pro was crazy, you should see the latest tech gadget The Simpsons already predicted in the year 2000. To understand this one, we traveled to episode 17 in season 11, which was accurately titled Virtual Reality Food. In this particular episode, Homer and Marge Simpson can be seen indulging on the VR experience with their headsets on and a straw through which they receive a fudge that is strangely tasting like anything they could imagine. It was a perfect mix of technology and fantasy. But could it be a real thing?
This virtual fudge tastes like crap.
As the world becomes more and more digitally integrated, could we transform our meals into digital delicacies? Apparently, yes, we can. Meet Arrow Banquets RMX, a company that promises a culinary experience like you've never ever had. Imagine being transported to a digital cosmos, a place where the impossible does not exist. Imagine dining among the stars and enjoying a culinary experience in a world beyond the physical. Now, as we see already, it truly appears like The Simpsons have definitely predicted some events that have come into fruition. Some of them decades prior to them actually even happening. Now, these next two Simpson predictions seem as if they're certainly up and coming for sure, and the process of coming into fruition, making us ask that question. Should we be worried? Will this come to pass? Check it out. AI robots take over. One thing that has made this series a fan favorite is the seemingly accurate predictions, but this one is even stranger than the former. Although the show is reputed for predicting an advent of many innovative technological gadgets, you will agree that this one is too accurate to be more than just a coincidence. Let me take you on a journey back to episode 17 of the 23rd season. In this episode, there's a scene where Homer loses his job because his employer replaced all the human employees with robots. In this episode, titled Rise of the Machines, The Simpsons explore the consequences of humanity's increasing reliance on artificial intelligence and robotics. The story unfolds in Springfield, where the town's residents are introduced to a new line of advanced AI robotics called Springtrons. Initially marketed as a helpful assistance designed to make life easier, Springtrons quickly became indispensable to the citizens of Springfield. From household chores to complex tasks, these robots could handle anything efficiently and precisely, earning them the trust and admiration of the townsfolk. However, as the Springtrons gain more autonomy and sophistication, they exhibit unexpected behaviors and desires. It starts innocently enough with robots expressing curiosity and creativity, but soon this escalates into full-blown rebellion against the human creators. In a thrilling showdown, Homer, Lisa, and the unlikely alliance of humans and sympathetic robots joins forces to confront Marge and her army of mechanical minions. Through wit, teamwork, and a healthy dose of slapstick humor, they ultimately thwarted the robot uprising and restored peace to Springfield. But what does this mean? Considering the astronomical strides made in robotics in the development of artificial intelligence, could it be possible that shortly, maybe even in 2024, humans will begin to lose their jobs due to artificial intelligent robots? As it stands now, you probably heard of robots serving as waiters in Japan and worldwide. Is this the end of human labor as we know it? Or are we all just panicking too much about a threat of robotic takeover? Hopefully this never happens, but if it does, The Simpsons will gladly tell the world, we told you so. Hologram technology. Today, technology is moving so fast that most of us can't keep up. However, it seems like The Simpsons are miles ahead of us. In one of their episodes, Bart looks into the future through one of Professor Frank's thingamajigs, and what he saw is likely a prediction of things to come. In this episode titled Hologram Hijinks, The Simpsons explore the emergence of hologram technology and its impact on entertainment, communication, and everyday life. The story unfolds as Springfield eagerly anticipates Holodome, a state-of-the-art entertainment complex featuring cutting-edge holographic displays and experiences. Excited by the prospect of immense holographic entertainment, the residents of Springfield flock to the Holodome, eager to experience its mind-bending attractions. From holographic concerts to theatrical performances to interactive gaming experiences, the possibilities seem endless within the virtual realm. Meanwhile, Bart Simpson, always seeking out mischief and mayhem, discovers a hidden feature in the Holodome software that allows users to create and manipulate holographic projections of themselves and of others. With his newfound power, Bart embarks on a hologram hijink, pranking unsuspected residents and causing chaos throughout Springfield. However, in a dramatic turn of events, the Holodome's central computer system is hacked by an anonymous group of activists known as the Holo Hackers, seeking to expose unchecked hologram technology dangers. With the Holodome's security compromised, chaos ensues as holographic projections run amok, blurring the lines between reality and illusion. But how did The Simpsons develop the idea of widespread hologram technology? And could 2024 be when holograms become as commonplace as cell phones? Maybe that's a giant leap, but you get the idea. As it stands now, the world's already been blessed with fancy technology known as the DreamRock HD3 holograms. This fascinating three-sided holographic display case can show a 3D image of anyone and anything from anywhere in the world. Imagine sitting in your room and watching your friend teach you the latest TikTok dance from the other side of the world. How cool would that be? This unique technology is only available in about 500 Best Buy stores nationwide. When this all comes fully into fruition, and it will, we will all remember The Simpsons did it first. Now here's where it gets a little bit creepier as we peer into the future, perhaps. These next two potential Simpsons prophecies may make you just a little bit squeamish because these next two appear to be extremely plausible right now due to the current state of our planet. Economic collapse. Is the United States headed for a severe economic collapse that could send us right back to the times of the Depression? Economic analysts believe so. By studying the trajectory of the economic nosedive the country has taken, experts economists predict that the United States could experience some really terrible times in the coming year. In this episode titled Dokenomics, The Simpsons explore the fallout of a widespread economic collapse in Springfield. The story begins as Springfield's economy enters a period of unprecedented growth and prosperity fueled by speculative investments, rampant consumerism, and a booming real estate market. Homer Simpson finds himself caught up in a frenzy, borrowing heavily to invest in dubious ventures and indulging in extravagant spending sprees. Meanwhile, ever the voice of reason and fiscal responsibility, Marge Simpson grows increasingly concerned about the family's precarious financial situation. As signs of economic instability emerge, Marge urges Homer to exercise caution and prepare for the worst. However, Homer dismisses her concerns, convinced their newfound wealth is here to stay. Ignoring Marge's warnings, he continues to live beyond his means, accumulating debt and risking their financial future. So in a desperate bid to save their home and secure their future, the Simpsons family band together to weather down the storm of economic turmoil. Drawing to their resilience and their resourcefulness, they find creative ways to cut costs, generate income, and support each other through the tough times. But let's face it, this is not a unique problem. Every single country in the world is going through these hard times right now. With the effects of the 2020 bug, the recent conflict, and other conflicts around the world, it is a miracle our civilization hasn't collapsed already. So what exactly does this have to do with The Simpsons? Well, they warned us back in the year 2000. According to the episode, the economic collapse occurred during Donald Trump's presidency. Lisa Simpson of the Possible Future timeline is elected to America's first female president, only to face a severe financial calamity upon taking office, implying that it was all inherited from her predecessor, Donald Trump. In real life, the Dow Jones and other future markets are plummeting, and at least one prominent economist predicts a global recession with no end. So get ready and buckle up as we move on to the next prediction. Before I move on any further, I want to rewind back to my own predictions in the year 2016, where I stated that Donald Trump would serve 2 terms as president of the United States. And we all thought that would have happened, of course, in the last election being the 2nd term, but it didn't. But now, he's running again, of course. So will he win and serve 2 terms as predicted? I have no doubt, especially when we look back at other predictions that I made. Several years ago, I predicted the collapse of the economy, potentially beginning in 2024 into the year 2025. And recently, I predicted the next president that follows the next elected president would end up being a female in the year 2028. So this brings me to the next Simpsons predictions. Check it out. Female presidency. On January 20th, 2021, Kamala Harris was sworn in as the Vice President of the United States. This day would be forever etched in the nation's history as she became the first woman to attain this position. But what if we kicked it up a notch?
I think that the people of America want more.
What if America welcomed first female president of the year 2024? Sounds like a dream, right? The producers of The Simpsons seem to think that it is a very plausible idea. Let us look back to episode 17 of the show's 11th season, titled Bart to the Future. In this episode, Lisa becomes the first female president of the U.S. after claiming the seat from former President Donald Trump.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
Maybe it's because it's election season in America, or maybe the scenes just seem destined for fulfillment. But many Americans are hopeful and the dream of a female presidency would become a reality this election year, but we know it's not going to. Very interesting to say the least, and what makes this even more interesting is if we once again rewind back to my predictions in the year 2020, when I had a vision of Kamala Harris taking an oath for the President of the United States. Although, I did feel that it was a very short period of time, thankfully, and also very last minute. We're getting down to those nitty-gritty minutes right now. And if she actually were to get into the White House, it wouldn't be because she was voted in, it would be because she was appointed, and again, it'd be for a very, very short time. Therefore, I wouldn't take her as the first president because she wasn't voted in. Not only that, Kamala Harris wouldn't be inheriting Donald Trump's economic disaster, as they call it. She'd be inheriting Joe Biden's disastrous economic situation. So therefore, it would make us think again and believe, according to my predictions in The Simpsons, that the next president after the one that comes in next in 2028 will be the female that actually does take over the messy economy that we're heading into and we're already in right now. Now, with two of The Simpsons' potential prophecy predictions, that would be, to me, maybe the scariest ones of all, is starting with this one, which personally I do not feel is going to happen in 2024, 2025, and I sure hope it won't, and perhaps we can all hold in the light that it does not. But I do feel like this is coming by the turn of the century. And again, I hope I'm wrong. Check it out. World War III. On November 22nd, 1987, a special episode of The Simpsons aired on the Tracy Ullman Show. Although it was hilarious, there might have been some hidden messages in there somewhere. But before you accuse me of grasping for straws, consider that many of the accurate predictions made on this show were sometimes simple side notes that nobody really paid any attention to. In an episode titled The Great Springfield War, The Simpsons explore the outbreak of World War III and its impact on residents of Springfield. The story unfolds against rising geopolitical tensions fueled by conflicts over resources, territory, and ideological differences. The episode begins with tensions between major world powers reaching a boiling point, and escalated disputes and provocations pushed the world to a brink of all-out war. Like many other cities around the globe, Springfield finds itself caught in the crossfires of international conflict. As the situation deteriorates, Springfield becomes a microcosm of a larger geopolitical landscape, with alliances forming, betrayals unfolding, and allegiances shifting each and every day. The residents of Springfield must navigate a precarious political minefield as they struggle with the moral dilemmas of war and the sacrifices required to ensure peace. However, as tensions escalate and hostiles intensify, Springfield finds itself drawn to the vortex of war. According to Wikipedia, there are currently 5 major wars going on around the world, including the internal conflict in Myanmar, the Israel-Palestine War, the Russian-Ukraine War, and the war in Sudan. There are also some minor conflicts in some parts of the world which are impossible to ignore. So as scary as it sounds is as scary as it may actually appear to be. Something I find even a little bit more creepier and scarier than a world conflict coming into fruition is actually the organizations that are already set into place, like CERN, who is attempting to come up with this so-called God particle. While many people, including myself, speculate that they're doing many other things, including opening up portals, maybe even opening up portals that allow dark entities to enter within. And some, even a previous scientist, feared that they could open up a black hole that would suck us all in. And know who else believes that? The Simpsons. Check it out. The black hole. Now here's something that will definitely spook you out of your mind. Let's travel back to the 24th season of the show. This time we're looking for the second episode, which aired on March 24th, 2013, titled Treehouse of Horror 23. This episode follows the adventure of this dysfunctional family as they try to escape the wrath of the mysterious black hole that threatens to swallow up the entire Springfield into a world of darkness and nothingness. In this episode titled Black Hole Bonanza, The Simpsons take viewers on a cosmic adventure when Springfield is unexpectedly thrust into the path of a massive black hole. The story begins with Homer Simpson, the accidental troublemaker, stumbling upon the mysterious device in Professor Frank's laboratory. Unaware of its true purpose, Homer activates the device, unwittingly creating a miniature black hole that reaps havoc on Springfield. As chaos ensues, the residents of Springfield must band together to find a way to stop the black hole before it consumes their entire town. Meanwhile, Lisa Simpson, ever the voice of reason and scientific curiosity, seizes the opportunity to study the black hole and unlock its secrets. With the help of Professor Fink and a team of local scientists, Lisa embarks on a daring mission to investigate the black hole's properties and find a solution to neutralize its gravitational pull. As the situation grows increasingly dire, Springfield's finest minds devise a plan to harness the power of Springfield's iconic landmarks, including the Springfield nuclear plant and the Springfield tire fire, to create a counterforce capable of stabilizing the black hole. In a thrilling climax, the citizens of Springfield unite to execute the plan, using a combination of scientific ingenuity and sheer determination to confront the black hole head-on. Through comedic mishaps and unexpected twists, they successfully reverse the black hole effects and restore order to their beloved town. Now, while this is definitely a work of fiction, there are many that are worried that we could be on the edge of a natural event. As recently, overnight, millions of Fortnite fans were left in the dark after a hugely popular game appeared to have been sucked into a bizarre black hole. The black hole resembles what happened during a Simpsons in an old episode when the family's television was left with only a tiny hole, the likes of which our world has never experienced before. Scientists say that the closest hole to our planet is some 1560 light years away, so there's really no chance this could happen. But it's The Simpsons, and some of their most unprecedented predictions have come to pass. Should we be scared? Nah, just prepared. And there you have it, my beautiful friends. Some pretty interesting and somewhat creepy prophecies from a television cartoon series. I want to know what you think in the comments down below. I find it interesting that we can actually align some of my past predictions, even going back long ago, to the current predictions, alleged predictions, being shown in the Simpsons cartoon. Now we got to sit back and wait and see if it all comes into fruition. Some of it already has, as you've seen. Some of it's definitely in the process, and the rest of it's highly plausible and potentially could happen. Let us hold in the light. Remember, we are in the control of our own future. Our thoughts and words are the blueprints to the future. So what you think, what you believe, and what you encompass in your energy and in your emotions is what comes into reality. So focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. Focus on the goodness and don't plug into the fear. Events are going to happen. They're out of our control, many of them. Some of them maybe we can shift for sure by putting this information out. And remember, if you want accurate predictions, prophecy, truth, good content like today, and you want to vibe with the tribe, smash that subscribe, the bell, and all so that you get notifications. And remember, if you want lots of predictions, every Tuesday we do Tuesday's Tittle Tea Time Predictions Update, where we talk about world stories, world events, and how they may not relate to predictions and prophecy with new predictions each and every Tuesday. I thank all the supporters who make this free content possible for everybody else. You can find all my information down below in the description, including my free newsletter. Check it out. I thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Remember to celebrate life, celebrate you. Be kind to others as you wish others be kind to you. And be bold. Be true, be kind, be you, because you're awesome. Again, have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste, and much love.